Holy Trinity Anglican Church, built in 1912, it is situated at the gateway into Agbonchia, one of the 10 communities that make up Eleme local government area of Rivers State, Nigeria. Likened to a citadel of Christianity and Western education, it has bathed so many churches in the community over the years. Such vast religious influence supposedly should span through this small community, but ironically reverse has been the case. Looking like a war-torn zone, Agbonchia community is obviously deserted, with abandoned and wrecked buildings, tattered roofs, and the very busy village square is quiet and empty. Only displaced sheep with no shepherd wandering astray, with very little human activities. Youth from this once peaceful community have embraced a path of violence, cultism, and gun war as a way of life, killing many and rendering families helpless and homeless. While some fled the community for safety, others lived in perpetual fear as the enemy of mankind performs his enterprise to steal, to kill, and to destroy. John chapter 10 from verse 10 will better tell this story as we journey through the broken walls of Agbonchia community. Reverend Samuel Abbey, a pastor in one of the indigenous churches, a few years ago lost his younger brother, Mr. Sonny Abbey, popularly referred to as Sonny's Bar, to these cold menace, leaving behind a wife and 4 children. Very subtly he takes us into their family compound and tells us the ugly story.
Yes, it is beer parlor where he used to operate. These good boys, I call them good boys because it is them that choose to be bad. These good boys used to come there. Sometimes they would drink without pay. Sometimes they will cause a lot of mayhem. And the young man, the proprietor of the business, was not comfortable with it. He would always chase them away. And when they refuse, he would get the police. So that is the problem between them and him. So they threatened to take his life, which eventually they succeeded on that fateful day. According to the news, I'm not living here, I've relocated. They say he was coming back and reaching at the frontage now, not knowing that they lay ambush, they call his line. So because I'm sure they didn't know him, so as they called his line and he was answering, they now spotted that and hey, come here. He said, who are you? As he run, on reaching here, they shot him. Shot him dead. They didn't just run away because there are people who are living here. Say they saw when he lied down, they searched his pockets. Nobody could come out because they are armed. Until when they have left, before they came and began to shout. They took him to a hospital, Atido Clinic precisely, where he was confirmed dead. And I remember when I get down there, I saw him dead. My brothers were grieved. They want to retaliate, they want to do this. I said, no, you cannot retaliate anything. God has everything to do.
With no tombstone, almost overtaken by weed, this is the grave of Mr. Sonny Abbey. This wrecked structure is the remains of his popular beer parlor, overgrown by weeds and now an abode for snakes and reptiles.
This was the bar he was operating. There is nobody who didn't hear about him. Sonny's Bar. Sonny's Bar. The entrance used to come from that way. But after the incident, the bar closed automatically when 2 persons were shot again by these same boys. We found out what happened. They said he used to bring SARS to monitor them from there. That is his only offense.
Looking very big and intimidating, this compound is obviously deserted except for an old woman seated on a cemented grave at the middle of the compound and the family deity at one end. Satellite dishes have all gone obsolete and rooftops deteriorating. This aged woman is the stepmother of late Mr. Sonny Abbey, and the grave she is seated on is that of her late husband.
Mbaba tita sioma konga chawami onga chasemo ene kana nindamba pa be tita yo kukumo nani nuko nyani manye nebe eba be tita be ka jua de jua apata adala ne pali watu hado on ni atani if you a baby tan mi ka cha wo owa the hoto mo yo wa chatita then by nyana na nga labi a jobie amane mo tombie I don't know now no ne papana no ne jojo mo ka bona ka dole chalepo because be le metama ho aronu ka ju feru ho aro papam ka feru ka jeru ka feru so no ne baba sa no ne pipina ka bona ka oroko e bonto.
Ironically, the Abbey family compound happens to be one of the most significant compounds in Eleme and by extension Agbonchia, following their historic antecedents as kingmakers. This is subject to the fact that the first man who founded the place called Eleme had his first settlement in Agbonchia, the Abbey family compound, and established the popular deity called Ejia Eleme. For any king to be crowned, such must be done in the Abbey family compound before the deity. Few minutes later, the deceased wife returns home with 3 out of her 4 children who just came back from school. She narrates her experience.
It all happened one fateful Sunday evening, 25th precisely of October 2015. He came to the house after eating. He left. He said he was going to buy bulb to replace some bulbs in the shop where we are running the business. So when somebody came looking for him and I called him, he said he has already left. I was expecting him to come back. He didn't come. So I was in the house at about 7:45 when I heard a gunshot, as if it was just standing at the back of our house. So I picked up my phone and I called him. And when I called, he did not answer the first time. I repeated calling him again. So I was just hearing under the background, off and I wife they call, off and I wife they call. So they busy the call. I dropped the phone and came out. When I came out, everybody was running, and then I stood at the front of our house and sighted 3 young men standing just, I wasn't even knowing there was the one on the ground there. So they were turning him, searching him. So after that drama, they now left. So I just came out. When I came out, I now saw somebody running out. I went back inside the house again. So I was inside the house when somebody shouted, "Na Sonny yo, na Sonny yo." So I came out. Coming out, he was just lying there. He did not speak. Since that was how it ended. I was shouting, "Daddy Johnson, Daddy Johnson, Daddy Johnson." before his brother brought his car, and then his best man carried him and put inside the car. They brought him back as a coffee. Came back with him. Called me, when I was calling, they were not answering me to tell me how it happened. Oh, is he alive? He's not alive. Oh. I just saw motor drove him. When I came out, it was his dead body. So that was it. Since Daddy has not come back, we buried him. That is it.
The shock of her husband's death have chased her far away from home, but if given the necessary support, she hopes to return with the children and start a new life.
I was trying to revive the place and it was coming up, but they started this constant shooting again. They will come and rob. When people are going from here, they will rob them. They will shoot, people will run away, and then everybody was scared. So there was no how you come and sit down. Where you come to drink or eat is where you have to relax. But when constant issues are coming up, shooting, robbing, the people are not, I will stay in the shop from morning till night. Nobody will come and say, how is it, what are you selling, or what kind of food do you have, or what kind of drink do you have? Because of they have threatened them a lot. We will close. Sometimes even they rode my gen and left one starting time like that too. They rode my gen, a big gen. The whole place, we thought maybe the gen off. When we came out, it was them that carried the gen. They molest me here. That is took all, even to my slippers. They collected my slippers, lose the necklace on my neck, the earring. So I don't even have any better money with me. 20,000 that somebody paid me as a debt that he was owing me. They collected it from my pocket, dragged my bag. So after that day, it was when I just decided, no, I cannot. For me to die for what I don't know, and the same kind of thing, the death now occur. I just shut down. That was what led me to relocate, even from the house here, compound entirely. Because the constant attack was too much. Every day gone. Even when I rented somewhere here, I'll be coming back with my children. They will see gone. They will collect the money. Just like that. I said, I just left.
With no arrest, no investigation, the killers of late Mr. Sonny Abbey went on rampage.
But there was nothing specific. Nobody came and met me, just as you're asking me now. Even at that day that the thing happened, nobody came and said, how did it happen? No, nobody. It was just sympathized as they were coming. There was nothing really serious that was done regarding that. No police investigation, nothing. Maybe my husband brother wanted, which is their first one, wanted to do something. Since there was no evidence, nothing. So where will you start from? To go and bring police into the matter when there was nothing on ground. Nothing happened. Nothing of such.
About 2 kilometers away, and another victim was not far from reach. Now a widow with 3 children. Her husband was brutally murdered in broad day. The emotions were written all over her as she struggled to put herself in check, cuddling her little baby and narrating her ugly ordeal.
When we go, besio, ma tonton, egbo mi no ni domunu, ta no ni dori mobon, ni momo wen. Ti bebe jin la me bi yen, ko ni ebu. Nsinyi a ba mi ebu, unei mi ebu. Mi bino kure boys etoni stop your on. Brone na ajo mi wen. Bro sarora. We chance nya. Be ba isi e. But church no ni. Lo be fio on ni. Be fio on. We dey see. Be isi e na ta na akwa. Tresi abre u. We dey chu ejuan. Be mo sansina ni. Te ferry elomu. After a month and 5 days, be ferry me mominoni.
She later shows us the photograph of her late husband. Now a widow with no means of survival, her faith in the system has completely collapsed. Like the others, no arrest, no investigation. The day is far gone, and these stories are unending. Reverend Samuel Abbey leads us to another victim, the wife of the chief security officer of Agbonchia community, who was shot dead in active service, leaving behind a young widow with 6 children. Ajiwa, famously called Ajisco, and his wife were both target of these known assailants, who came to his home and shot him dead right in front of his house. Ajisco died on the spot. His wife managed to survive after being hit by 2 bullets, one on her ribs and the other on her arm.
19. Wa intita mira ba mira wa intita ble. So dura okaju ami ebere ogale ju. Wa ka iran tamble. Na ra vere balance to re damba na kado. Na kado abodori ju. Wala mai kore bonto. So esakra labilo so mi kore bonto. Ndabi na be tama. Mai sapata tana ayedo ni bon. Ami do onoto ma erebu ami bon soto. We legre teno soto ni mo bina. Tana ami ondre kure semine. Ya manya kon bo abrechuai la kon ya san o mira ro olora bre la mami ko bo abrechula mi dresse mo borai sonde oni obora on bra e pen baro on bo chuni oni
Ajisco's mother is eager to pour out her experience.
Kekpa. Aji. Odoku ki cho fancy fi. Apiade ni ala ni. Brother. In the tebechia. Odre ne boy. Yeah. See people with black. Get up in the house. Che. Oh. Aji wa na mi lo any. Go sit down here, see that people. Omina dokura ka bonto. Bye. Pa ebo. Bra. Ima ni de dan yinu iya be ba moton. Doku Chai. Ma. You not suit my brother. Pa ebo. You agbala on Cho ole musang mira koriru ajima munani.
Filled with emotions, she cried, God will not forgive them. God will not forgive those who killed my son.
Obareka asebarue. Obareba asebar grantong.
One thing is common with these 3 narratives. Their killers were never arrested nor prosecuted. This ugly trend, according to many, is associated with the wrong application of formal education and westernization, a borrowed concept of libertarianism which negates the moral consciousness and discipline, respect embedded in the African tradition and culture. To create a historic balance between the days of old and current realities, we are visiting one of the known elders in their communities. Over 70 years of age with stylish-looking gray hair, he has raised some of the factors responsible for this menace, comparing the past to the present.
Bible Korea must 40. I just going 50. 50 but I'm in state school. So better tonta yoni. A jury at on seta. So conne as I train no connect maybe a GR no. Was shiru, Rakiero Bobino. When mono. Neka kakra na kokasiri jireno nananto. Na keke so phone and tayon. Wa moniko wa phone wa shiro ko wa fone soro nyano no baba no seta ko no ko toma e poro nana ko feji wi ani abomination ebe suwe dola ugure erenio oko na fone ne bari ba na nenu afiano acha we nuko onayo ne fe akarape be krere doje ntayo ni bana erenio ani ke njaka me son bono aton antayo monana de aton monana de ne eren kreboebo petere comme ne siya to bare eren to bare eren kram pepe ba mi mama ko monana de oturu enu ne sibi nya son bare monana de njira ko ne ka ya ide eren ti de ne ka kra lo na ke bi njira ta no ni o gren ka na sen eren ni ke e do enu ne ni tinya to me gren ke bo ojiji.
He believes that the days of old are far better than today.
Ko okure ke e bayre chulaba na gbo nyonya bana mpio e pobari bana mpio linensi jima kure do ereni even to ko le arobari tayon ni do ma kra pa guluma nana be echuwe pipi ejo nama bet na gbo o so ponu pra o mo nana de jima kure se no e gon.
He further takes us into his house to show us some old photographs of his youthful days and that of his family.
Yes. Yes. Joto. Okay. Nani unoka number 1. Number 1. Number lakara na abere u. Number my grand. Number me. Number my mother abere u late. Number 1 is 20 years.
The cloud is dark and the rain is coming down. We are driving into the neighboring community to interface with one of the renowned evangelists and preacher in the region. Deep in the things of God, he has conducted several deliverances with lots of jaw-dropping revelations. Apostle George Ney, founder of Prayer Ground Ministry in Ebubu Eleme, one of the communities that was also being ravished, he revealed some shocking discoveries.
One of the main problems of Agbonchia youth is spiritual. It's spiritual. Why do you say that? There is a day I joined the youth to go and pray. Some of their youth confirmed to me because there was a place I went to, one junction I went to at the pipeline side, and I started hearing the voice of a baby. The baby was crying life. So as I was hearing the voice of the baby, I now confirmed, I paused. So it was then that told me that they bury a 2-day-old baby in that place. That what happened is that if you should come to that place when the place is calm, you'll be hearing the voice of the baby. Whatever blood is beaded to does not just get peace. In Genesis, God told Cain that the blood is not the voice of your brother. He said the blood of your brother is crying into my ear day and night. So when you see all those things that is happening in the land, you just know that it's pure spiritual. Number two, I will also let you know that what is happening in Agbonchia is spiritual. This is open. There was a day that about 29 persons came to my house here. 29 of these boys are of different courts. Not one court. They are different courts. They say they are tired of paying house rent outside when they have house to stay in their own community. That they have searched all around Eleme, there is nobody that will take them to their community. That they promise me with everything that they have, that they want to come back to their community, but they don't want to set any problem. They don't want to fight again. That these boys, either from, I don't know their court's name, but either they stay outside, they see themselves outside and greet themselves outside. But whenever they come to the land, they must fight. Somebody that you met in Akpajo, and you greet the person, both of you shake in your own way. When once you got to the community, you will not know what will warrant the fight. That based on that, they needed prayer on the land towards those things, and at the same time, I should call the community, and they want to apologize to the community and come back to the community. I said, okay. I gave them date, and I called all the allies in Agbonchia and trying to appeal for them, call the chiefs, and they, by the grace of God, they honored me, and they were in seat. Now, in that program, there is something that happened that I will tell you that this problem in Agbonchia is spiritual. After the message and my appeal to the youth, I knelt down and I begged them, tell them that they should forgive anything that has gone wrong. And a young guy from Akwa Ibom came out. His name is Sunday. Sorry to mention the name. Came out and was so angry. He called me, Pastor, I can't forgive. The local government chairman, former local government chairman was there, which is Honorable Dr. Philip Obangaji, Barrister Philip Obangaji. Now, we tried to interrogate the guy. What happened? He said early in the morning, around 5 o'clock, that the elder brother used to grind egusi in the market, was going to the market on his normal work, that some boys interrogated him and killed him. That the brother was not an occult man, the brother was not in any group. That after them, in pain, he carried the brother away. And he went and meet his family people in Akwa Ibom. And in that anger, they did something and come some point in Agbonchia and bury it. That as long as they kill his brother without any fault, Agbonchia should not notice peace, that they should be killing themselves. When this young guy said this, everybody in the town hall, that was the first time they were hearing it. We recorded close to 1,000 persons in the town hall that day. And everybody were shouting. They didn't know. Now, who could have known that this is behind what was happening? You can see yourself in Ogale, you greet yourself, but when you come to Agbonchia, you start fighting. Nobody knows that this is what was being buried. All these people are in pains. Okay, let me further prove you that what is happening in Agbonchia is spiritual. The day that we went outside to pray in Agbonchia, a woman was following us. And as the woman was following us, he was mentioning, George Nay, the prayer you're praying will not be answered in Agbonchia. George Nay, they can't kill my husband now. My husband was fighting for the peace of Agbonchia, and they killed my husband in cold blood. And Agbonchia people ran and entered inside the house. And now you're telling me that there will be peace in Agbonchia. There will not be peace in Agbonchia. George Nay, there will not be peace in Agbonchia. I know that your God can answer prayer, but your God will never answer this one. There will not be peace in Agbonchia. And the woman was following us from one junction to the other junction. And he was announcing it. I finished prayer and the woman came to me and he said that, sorry, he is not countering what my God can do. But he vowed with her life and everything that no prayer prayed in Agbonchia for peace to come, peace will come. That Agbonchia people will not kill her husband and leave her 5 children.
Evangelist George further agrees that the days of old are far better than today.
You know, I was preaching in Ogale and I was telling them that, you know, our father doesn't tolerate. They have this obedience. They were not believers, but they have the fear of God. They know the difference between bad thing and good thing. Many of them are not at all, they are like pagans, but there are many things they cannot do. They know that if I should do this, the spirit of the community will leave me. I don't know if you understand me. So they are conscious of what they should not do so that the spirit of they are so interested of the spirit of the community not to leave them. So based on that, they were so conscious of their life. Number 2, there is a reaction each and every one of them have immediately when they commit one thing or the other. Now, we said that because of this, our jet age of Christian life, because of much prayer, many of those spirits that could have reacted that way to many people that we act that form has been subdued by the spirit of prayer. So now everybody is having any means to behave anyhow. I don't know if you understand me. There are too many things that our parents cannot do. Many things that they cannot do. But our people now, they can do anything without having the conscience that anything can happen to them. Those people are far better than us. Number 1, they hear their parents. When once they just cinch at them, they will just sit down somewhere. Because they just believe that there is nobody at their back. But our people now, no matter what you do, you can't hear anybody. What they want is what they want. What they want to do is what they want to do. And number 3 or 2. Now, our people then, since there is illiteracy and timid life, they just believe that nobody knows anything. And whatever you tell them is a new knowledge to them. But now, because some people thought they have gone out, whatever a man brought, he thought that is what he brought from where he went, that he can walk. And the thing work. Then the last thing I will talk about, those people have good life, as in love in their mind.
If only the leaders of thought can come together to this realization, then normalcy will gradually return to this once peaceful community, and the glory of God shall reign supreme.
They should look for a good man of God and gather everybody in Agbonchia and cry for good 7 days, good 3 days outside for the blood that have been spilled, life that have been spent. Sir, what we are talking about is the one you're seeing with your eyes and the one you're hearing with your ear. So if I start telling you things, what about bike men? That their bike was being taken away from their hands in the bush and said there will not be peace on this land. There will not be peace on this land as you're killing me, and say shut up, and they will shoot them and they will die and they collect their bike. What of taxi men? That you take them to the bush, collect their car and send it to Ikoku, sell the parts of the car and everything. They kill them and their phone will ring in the bush and the battery will off. You will not know that they killed them in the bush. What about the kidnapping? What about the raping? What about the pastor wife they rape? What about the pastor wife they rape? Many of these people are confessing that they don't know all these things that they did, that I should pray God should forgive them. Many things happen. So they should come back to God. Just like what happened in Nineveh. All of them should come gather. God mean that he will destroy does not mean he will destroy. God only wants everybody that will have a sober man and broken heart. If everybody will come together, look at Jonah coming to Nineveh and say God will destroy Nineveh in 3 days. And the whole Nineveh say we don't need our land to be destroyed. All of them come outside and they rub sackcloth. They were crying for God, and God changed his mind. This same God can still change his mind over every land in Eleme. It's possible. So if they can come out, everybody, forget about your title. Are you a chief? Are you a politician? Are you a local government chairman? Whatever you are, forget it. Let us come in one synergy and cry to God in the land of Agbonchia and ask God to intervene, forgive. Forgive. God will come down. God will come down and save the land. Thank you.